What's up, everybody? I'm back again. I hope you missed me. And I hope everybody has been doing well and taking care of themselves. I wanted to get on here because I did make my video this weekend because I had some things going on. But I wanted to get on here and something came, a topic dropped down in my spirit. And Saturday, as I was just doing my thing, and the topic is finding your footing in grief. Losing someone that you love, cherish, and hold deeply in your heart can be absolutely devastating. I describe it as a lost child just roaming around trying to find, first of all, their mom mostly, but any loved one that they could find. As you go through the process in different stages of grief, it could feel like you are walking on ice sometimes. And with each stage, you kind of struggle to gain your footing. Losing someone that you love can totally knock you off of everything that you had in mind in regards to that person. And for a while, you are just wondering and wandering aimlessly as the seconds, hours, days, weeks, months, and years go by. So I wanted to speak on the stages of grief first and then give you some tools that I've used, that I've found to be helpful along my journey of grief, that helped me to gain my footing a little bit along my new-founded journey of grief. I'll say this, I truly believe that the level of closeness that you have with the person that passed away and the type of connection that you had with them affects the way that you grieve for them. We always hear about 5 stages of grief. However, I did some research, little Google search, and I came across this, it was 7 stages of grief. According to Scripps AMG, there are actually 7 stages of grief. Now, I'm not going to go into the detailed definition of each stage, but I'll just name them off. This video is going to be kind of quick. I'm not going to hold you long. So it's shock and denial, pain and guilt, anger and bargaining, depression, reflection, loneliness, and then the upward turn of reconstruction and working through acceptance and hope. So how do you find your footing through those stages? I would say one baby step at a time, with the understanding that you may slip and fall on each one of those stages. And when you do, just keep getting back up and keep taking those baby steps. Take care of yourself in and through the process. That means eating well, taking care of yourself. Sometimes, I know for me personally, I am an emotional eater. So this stage has been, in regards to that, I'm really trying to do better and get my mind right so that I can eat better, because the emotional part of me losing my mom, my dad, and my grandfather within years of each other was just like, oh my gosh. And I just began to eat and pick up weight. So I am working on that for me. I would also say to guard your spirit, guard your heart, and guard your mind, especially early on in the loss, because those are your most vulnerable times. And sometimes you can get so consumed with grief and it can become overwhelming that you're not thinking, of course, with a clear mind. Your mind is all over the place and running, and that's when, people will come in and try to take advantage of you, or, different things can happen where choices you make, just be mindful of the choices you're making in that time and all of those things. So, and who you're accepting and receiving into your life at that time, all of the things. Recognize and realize that you cannot be a saving grace for others, especially during your time and moments of when you're going through your stages of grief. And in particular, especially for those who may also be grieving. That one was a tough one for me because you initially want to, for me, I try to help people and because I realize that that grief is a very vulnerable place to be in. So like my thing was to protect, to protect everybody. And it's not that you can't protect them, but you just have to know your limitations and set boundaries even in those moments, because if you don't, you will become drained, you will become depleted, and it will just wear you out trying to help everybody out, and protect everybody. So just take care. Again, that goes back to taking care of yourself, and it's not selfish to take care of yourself. Give yourself grace, time, and space when needed or necessary. So don't be afraid to, and you can communicate it. You don't have to be standoffish or rude. You can communicate it and say, hey, listen, I need some space. I need some time. I just need, some time by myself, or to just regroup, or, whatever the situation is. I've had to do that quite a few times on my journey. And luckily those people that are close to me, they understood that and they were willing to give me my space and my time that I needed. One of the things I want to back up and say is that in regards to helping other people and being a saving grace for them, especially those who are grieving, the reason why I say that is because everybody's grieving process is different, and everybody could be in a different stage of grieving. And sometimes those stages of grief, they might not agree with one another, to be honest. Like if somebody is in their anger and bargaining stage and you're in your reflection stage, that stage might get on your nerves, so it might clash with the other stages. You can still be there for them, but again, just know your limitations, know everybody's limitations and boundaries, and be respectful of one another, even in those different stages of grief. Be respectful. Another one is just pray and trust that you will get to that upward turn stage where you begin to work through acceptance and reconstruct your life on the foundation of hope again. That is the one where you finally kind of get your footing and you're starting to regroup and gather yourself and get back to a place where you can focus on your life and living your life really without that loved one, and moving forward in your life without the loved one being there. So that is what I wanted to say today. Today I also learned that while I'm talking about grief, it is July 21st, 2025, and we learned about the loss. As I was scrolling Facebook, we learned that Malcolm Jamal Warner, aka Theo, had passed away tragically due to a what they're saying is an accidental drowning. And so just sending out love and hearts and hugs to him and his family, and prayers up for him and his family and close friends and those that were close to him. And just, life just has a way of lifing. I'm telling you, and this one, it's like that one for me kind of hit hard because we grew up on the Cosby Show. I love me some Cosby Show. It's such a positive show. And so just hearing that was heartbreaking. The initial shock of that, heartbreaking. He was only 54 years old, and it's just like, man, like the good people are dying young. Like he's he seemed like, from what I'm hearing and seeing, all the tributes and stuff that are going on up on the internet and online, is that he was such a good person. And he kind of, to me, it was like he kind of stayed out of the spotlight so much after, especially after the Cosby Show. I've seen him in different other shows from time to time, but not so much. He seemed like he was just a very humble individual. So just prayers up to his family and friends and close loved ones, and that God give them the comfort that they need as they're beginning to go through their journey of grief without him being on this earth. So that is what I wanted to say, and continue to take care of yourself and continue to be the best version of yourself that God created you to be. Peace.